Wow. This episode's finally shaping up to be a little bit shorter than the last few, because the last few were just like hour and a half, hour 45 minutes. Like, they keep ticking up.
Yeah.
I don't know, but like from what we've heard, people like the research. People like hearing all the wacky, dumb history about dumb food. So I don't know. It's
the part to be like.
Yeah, it's good to we've been breaking these down into sections and like uploading them separately on YouTube lately. So if you want to learn about the history of food, but you don't have fucking 90 minutes to devote to it, you can at least watch little snippets, like 20 minutes here and there. So let us know if you have any feedback about that. Feel free to tell us to go fuck off if you don't like that. But that brings us to today's episode's dessert, which we're going to be doing Poor Taste. So Poor Taste is a relatively new addition to Poor Couples Food Guide Deep Dish. Basically, Poor Taste is where we take a look at food news, events, stories, and other reports that just plain left a bad taste in our mouths. We live in the age of information, and it's never been easier to find out just how many stupid people are out there, especially when it comes to food. So, we'll give you a rundown of any number of topics, usually culinary ones, that we found to be cringe-inducing, truly bizarre, or just generally in poor taste. Here we go!
So for this episode, we tried to stick with Halloween theme, and so these are all candy or Halloween related. Our first article is this is actually from last month now.
So old in
know.
internet years.
I know.
September 25th.
Yeah, the headline is, "Man dies after eating bags of black licorice every day."
What the hell?
But yeah.
I have questions here.
Yeah.
I got a lot of questions.
Apparently, though, licorice contains a compound known to be toxic in large doses, which
Jesus.
just underlines the fact that black licorice fucking sucks and no one should eat it.
Don't eat black licorice. Black licorice is garbage. It's disgusting. There's not a lot of foods out there that are black that you're like, oh boy, let's eat that.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently he was
54-year-old Massachusetts man.
He was Oh yeah, he was consuming 1 to 2 large packages of soft candy every day and little else. A few weeks earlier, he'd switched from eating red licorice to black licorice, and that was apparently his downfall.
Oh no! See, you switch over from the strawberry candy one to the tablet down. You switch over from the red licorice, strawberry flavor, to the fucking garbage squid ink licorice, and it kills you.
Yeah,
that stuff will kill you. Apparently, he was at a fast food restaurant when he suddenly gasped and began shaking and lost consciousness, according to this report.
How much was the restaurant sweating that it was their food that caused this?
They're like, oh, fuck. We're going to get sued. And then they saw this and they're just like, local man dies from black... Oh, yeah! Yes! I mean, it sucks the guy's dead, but yeah! We didn't kill him, thank God. Who'd have thunk, if you're at a friggin' fast food restaurant, everyone around who was probably like, oh, that man's having a heart attack because he ate too many Big Macs.
Yeah.
Hey, lesson here, though. Black licorice is disgusting and will kill you. If you eat black licorice, you'll die. Don't eat it. Let's move on to the next one here.
It's easier for you.
So, we have an article from Pop Sugar that is all about candy sticking, which is an even safer and far cuter version of leaving out trick-or-treat candy on Halloween night.
Yeah, so basically, this idea is instead of opening the door to little children who can cough on you and give you COVID, and a lot of people will probably leave out bowls. But no, that's not good enough either. What you gotta do is you gotta take the candy that you're giving out and put it on sticks. And then stick those sticks in your yard so that dogs can walk by and pee on them. And then children can come take them and eat them.
Oh, I'm looking at the picture and yeah, this is really based. So picture a lawn and the lawn has just a bunch of lollipops, just 50 lollipops or just chocolate bars with fucking sticks in them, and they're just spaced apart here, all over the lawn. This is so stupid. Who has the time to do that?
I don't know. But even then, it's been dubbed candy sticking. That's even a stupid name.
Yeah. Here, like, what I don't get, how is this safer than just putting a bowl out?
I guess because like less people touching the candy, but like I said, now you have like animals that can just come and like nibble on them or like pee on them. Plus, like people are gonna step on them.
Like, I don't know, any kid that, if you're worried about kids touching the whole bowl, like, I got news for you. Like, kids are gonna go around and they're gonna touch every single one of those freaking pieces of candy too. Honestly, some kid is gonna walk over and the same douchebag that just dumps the whole bowl into their pillow sack is gonna just like stand there and go bink, bink, bink. I got them all, and they're gonna take all of them. So like, you're the friggin' like 45 minutes it took you to set this stupid shit up, someone's gonna just like rip it all out and take it and steal it in like 5 minutes, if even, not even a minute.
And then is everyone who does this going to go through at the end of the night and like pick up any candy that hasn't been taken, so they're not littering or like poisoning like wild animals who come through later? It's
okay. Like, I know, like, COVID and, like, the pandemic is worse in different parts of the world and different parts of the country. But, like, so, like, we're very fortunate here in New York that, like, our numbers are still pretty low. And, like, no one has, like, stood up and be like, no trick-or-treating anymore. Even though, like, people absolutely still would after my rant before. But... like other places, there are a lot of places where like their hospitals are still really full and all this like shit that's like, you know, actually scary and not just like I'm wearing a Frankenstein mask. But yeah, like for places like that, what is the actual risk in trick-or-treating? Like, I'm not a doctor. I used to be an EMT. I'm a retired EMT, so I have a little bit of medical training, but like, I'm not an epidemiologist, but I understand data and studies and shit that I read. So as far as I can tell, it seems like the real risk is that it's airborne and shit. So if you're standing in a room and breathing shit in when people are coughing and fucking peeing and shitting and all over the place, I don't know why they're doing that, but like, if you have coronavirus and they're doing that, stay far away, even if they don't have coronavirus. But like, that's the real risk, is that if someone coughs, it can just fly around. But so like, regardless of that, even if you're like, oh, I'm worried about like I don't know, like if kids come to your door, like, first of all, don't bring them into your house. And second of all, like, any kid that comes into your house, that works both ways. Like, if kids are going into strangers' houses and you're worried about them getting coronavirus in the house, like, you got bigger problems if that kid's going to a stranger's house. But then, similarly, on the other end of things, if you're an adult and kids come trick-or-treating and you bring them into your house, like, you got bigger problems than if that kid is going to, like, transmit COVID into your house. So, like, I don't, like, just... Basically,
if, like, the doorbell rings, don't cough into people's face. Yeah. And alternately, if they look like they're about to cough, close the door in their face.
Just like, you can do the 6 foot thing. Honestly, turn it into a game. You know, it'd be more fun than friggin' just wasting time dinking a bunch of stupid like candy into your lawn. Here's what you do. You say, all right, kids, open those pillow sacks up. And you go, boo! And you toss them in like friggin' like ring toss or skee ball and just chuck them in. Yeah. And like, I don't know. If you don't make it into the pillow sack, you know what's going to happen? The kid's going to bend down, pick it up, and put it in anyway because kids want friggin' candy. That's what they're there for. I would be shocked. I'd be absolutely shocked if anyone gets coronavirus just from trick-or-treating, as long as it's trick-or-treating outdoors. Ugh.
If I walked up to a house and saw this menagerie of candy just stuck in the lawn, I would be like, what the fuck? I don't even know if I would take the candy. I would just honestly, be like, what is this?
Yeah,
and like, leave.
I might just be like, you know, that's kind of creepy and not fun creepy. It just kind of looks like the kind of creepy, like it looks like...
I would think there's something mentally wrong with the person who lives there.
If I were a kid, I would be like, ooh, a serial killer and like a pedophile lives in that house, and he's like waiting. That's the trap. That's the trap they set. And then we see the kids like bending down, like, do I want a Kit Kat or do I want a Twix? They leap out and they're like, haha, and they put them into a big bag and they sling it over their back and they run back into their pedo van and vroom, they take off. Let's take a look at the last one. So this final article comes from some local radio station, KRMS. I don't know where the hell it is.
Sorry, I just got really distracted because I noticed the tablet browser has like 1 million tabs open.
So this final article comes to us saying, Pulaski Sheriff's Office advises residents to check Halloween candy. And this kind of piggybacks off of what we were just complaining about. Basically, this sheriff's office is, you know, they're just put out like a PSA being like, parents, like, they should always check their candy before children consume it, but like it's especially like important to check it this year because this year A deputy found marijuana edibles that mimicked popular candy.
Oh,
Whoa.
no, not the marijuanas.
No, how many marijuanas do you think they crammed into that Reese's peanut butter cup? This is so bizarre. Like, it says some of the candy that resembled edibles was Skittles and Gushers. It's just like, first of all, like the whole notion of like check your candy, it might have razor blades and it might have drugs and it might have coronavirus, and like that's like one of the biggest myths in like the last century. Like there's like, if you look it up, there's like virtually no instances of kids getting sick from like candy that's been tampered with.
Yeah, if anything, they just get sick from eating too much fucking candy at one
sitting.
sitting.
That's the bigger problem. Like there's like I'm looking up to like fact check this right now. Like there's a handful of cases ever in history, and even then most of them were found with they were like children that got the candy from a relative, like their like estranged like father or something, or some relative that was mad at the kid. There was also someone laced candies with laxatives, which that's actually
a prank.
That's just funny. That's a prank, bro. But like there's no historical like there's no instance in history of Halloween of a kid getting seriously sick or hurt or anything from eating like tampered candy. It's like, this is just bizarre. This is just like, ugh.
Like, I don't know. I mean, like, I'm no like expert, but like if your kid like ends up eating an edible, like they're just gonna like want some more food and go to bed, right? Like I don't think it's like that huge of a deal. It's not like if it was like poison.
Yeah, like there's a difference between like marijuana and Drano, for example. Your kid's just gonna be like
if the person's handing out Tide Pods, then that's bad.
That's a bigger
like...
problem. I'm surprised that hasn't been a thing, like with all the Tide Pod outrage. But again, this goes back to what I was saying with coronavirus. It's like, if you get candy that is open, don't eat it.
Yeah.
Like, no one can sneak fucking marijuana edible like Gushers or whatever into a whole unopened package of Gushers.
Yeah.
That's not gonna happen. Like,
and if you get a package of Skittles where it's like Skittles is spelled with like 3 Z's, that's not real Skittles. Don't eat that, children.
Then you know it's not good. Then it's just like, I don't know. Like, there's parents, like, honestly, my parents never even checked my candy after I was like 6, I think. I think they were just like, if anything's open, throw it out.
Yeah, I feel like similar. Maybe like, honestly, I feel like my parents would go through my candy more to see like if there was anything like they wanted.
Yeah, like,
that, like like they could take.
Oh, I don't know. This king size Twix. Oh, with 4 Twix bars in it. I don't know. This looks like it's got a hole. We're gonna have to take this. We'll take this and get rid of it. And they're just like,
I almost feel like one time, I remember last episode, we spoke about those shitty, like, peanut butter candies in the, like, black and orange wrappers. I almost feel like one time I ate one, and I was like, oh no, this tastes bad, Mom, I think this candy was, like, do you think this was, like, poison? She was like, no, this is how they taste.
Yeah, those are just bad candies. Yeah, I can't imagine any parents don't like doing things with their kids most of the time. So I can't imagine any parent just being like, all right, kid, you got like 270 pieces of small candy. I am going to go over every single one, and I'm going to closely investigate it to make sure there are no small holes on them. Nobody does that. Like I said, like, I think once your kid is like old enough to like go out by themselves, like, you don't have to check their candy because they're smart enough to do it on their own. And if you're going with them, you could tell if a candy you got from like a crack house is not worth it. You'll just slap it away. Be like, no, don't have that, Billy. It just be smart and don't be stupid. And you're not going to be the first person to die from Halloween candy. So with that, we're all set here. Check, please.